And I remember the billboards were such a big marketing move that people, we started getting interviews because of the billboards. And people, you know how like morning drive, guys they're not even paid. They're like, hey bana, but this gig bana, it's everywhere. like yeah, these guys, what kind of cash do they have?
We stopped abruptly
Yeah.
for lunch.
Yep.
It's important for us to get some energy.
Yes, sir.
But the story continues, and I know exactly where we were.
Yeah.
We were at the point where, actually we didn't stop abruptly, we stopped at such a deep place.
Yeah.
It was important we stopped there. But we're, story-wise, we are taking a segue on the views.
Yeah.
But story-wise, we were live at the village, leading up to the launch of...
Yes, of stories. Yeah. So and the whole idea that what I was trying to do was connect how the live experience was feeding into the recording process. So a lot of the songs we did at Live at the Village made it into a lot of the songs that were working at Live at the Village we did now on the album.
Yeah.
And then a few new songs. So Live at the Village really impacted that album. And Stories had, I named the album Stories for two reasons. One, I felt like there was a story theme through all the songs, or most of the songs. It was like a storyline. Either the song was telling a story or it was born out of a story. Like Aumbe being kind of a story, or or whatever. And then, on the flip side of that was the fact that I do a lot of storytelling. When I was performing, then I'll do a lot of storytelling. So it just made sense. So anyway, so we produced the album, finished it, packaged it, printed CDs, the whole system, and then was the idea for, okay, man, we need to launch this album, and so we so just to rewind back a bit, the epitome of our Live at the Village event was a show that I think we've already shown, which was the Kanjii versus Eric, part 1, and this was unprecedented, and again it was just an idea to try, right? And even the marketing I think was spot on. It was me and Eric with boxing gloves, facing off. We were like two. I think the marketing was 2 artists, 2 bands, one stage at the same time. So literally it's all happening at the same time. And we broke the gig into different, so maybe I'll speak a little bit on that gig. Broke the gig into categories, and it was like our boy band days. So he did Five Alive, I did Milele, and then
hey, he kicked your ass there.
He did.
Ondi.
Yeah, he did. And no, but I think that was a.
It was even.
I think Boy Boys, because I had Sanjo Lama.
My bad.
Sorry.
Sorry.
In fact, I think Boy Band. I kicked his because I just had so much more content.
Yes. Okay.
Right. Because Five Alive only had that one album.
Okay.
But
my bad.
Milele had multiple
Sanjo
albums.
Lama, I forgot.
Yeah. Turn It Around, Forever. So I think I won the boy band. So anyway, so we both had boy band days, and then we had kind of like we had a dance breakdown because both of us did all these dancing moves in the whatever. Then we had like a secret weapon, like so something the other person didn't know you're gonna bring into the show, right? So Eric's secret weapon ended up being Five Alive.
Oh!
So he pulled Five Alive, and then my secret weapon was DJ Pinye. So we did a DJ and band thing. That was killer.
That's so dope.
Then we did. I mean, that show was so much fun, man. I mean, the crowd was just like, this is
it was
entertainment
on steroids.
On steroids, bana. And then we both had, because both our dads are very into our musical careers. We had a dad's face off, which was a dancing thing for the dads.
Twist.
Yeah, so we just had a twist. And the Wazes came and danced. And you know, and they were both trying to show how they can get down and whatnot. So that was super. But then so that was a very successful event, as far as the storytelling, the audience interaction, and all of that. You know, but also, you know, that was now musically. So the musicals were selling those type of tickets. Musicals were, as far as ticket sales, were doing really well. The live events was kind of growing, you know. So that one, I remember we had like 1,100 sold tickets.
On a Thursday?
On a Thursday night. Like Simba Saloon was packed like it was Groove or Super Soul Sunday. Like it was packed, you know. And at that point I was like, man, you know, I started seeing, man, we could do something here for my album launch. I think that at that point I was like, I think we've captured a really good audience. Guys love what we're doing. They're a consistent audience. So now we set out. We made the decision with my team at Kijiji. You know, and it was just like, okay, cool, guys, we're gonna go for it, man. We're gonna swing for the fences, man. We're gonna do the album launch, not at Simba Saloon, but Carnival Grounds.
Hey, yeah.
And so, you know, Mwendi put together, and I remember, you know, we'd always get these guys to come and brainstorm on strategy, Gerald Owino, Amani Maranga. And, you know, we came up with this marketing strategy. Mwendi executed it to perfection. You know, media interviews, you know, flyers. We had billboards, man. That was
the first time.
That was the first time, you know, billboards. And
Can you remember that?
That was wild.
No, you know,
billboards made were the story.
Yes.
Like
an artist has a billboard.
An artist has a billboard, man. I mean, now they have them all over the place. But then no one was doing billboards because they were expensive. But then here was the thing about our billboards, that it was, again, not strategery. It's something that happened that ended up working to our favor, okay? So we went to Magnet Ventures, who are the guys who owned the billboards. And I didn't even go for that meeting. Wendy went for that meeting. And went and negotiated for billboard spots. And we're like, hey, we're doing this thing, we don't have much money, whatever. So the deal they ended up giving us was, listen, man, we'll do your. We only had 2 billboards. We have your 2 billboards, but with the money you're giving us, we've got to give priority to other clients. So your billboards will be up, but we'll have to move them based on the billboard that's available, based on the space that's available.
Oh.
You guy, everyone thought we were everywhere. It was only 2 billboards. But today it's on Gong Road, tomorrow it's Wayaki Way. 3 days from Nini, it's on Mombasa Road. So the billboard, the only 2, but they were doing this, They were doing this.
That's good. How can you plan it?
You couldn't have planned that. You couldn't. So
even I was Italian, but I thought they were everywhere.
Yeah, there were only 2 billboards. There were only 2, but they were everywhere. And I remember the billboards were such a big marketing move that people, we started getting interviews because of the billboards. And people, you know how like Morning Drive, guys they're not even paid. They're like, hey, bana, but this kick, bana, it's everywhere. Like, yeah, these guys, what kind of cash do they have? As guys were bootstrapping it, there was no money.
In fact, here is the team.
Yeah,
a photo.
Yeah, that was the team, man. It was Cairo, my manager. It was Michelle, Bupe, Richie,
Shem.
Mwendi, Shem. It was a small team, but super creative and super driven, and we all who are very focused, and you can do a lot, by the way, with a focused team, man. If everyone is pulling and trying to do the same thing. So anyway, so we marketed this.
And Just a Man video has come out, so it also helps.
Yeah, Just a Man video is out. And we got our interviews, man. And I remember, like, at the time, Caroline Mutoko had the biggest radio show. She was a breakfast, Kiss FM breakfast, I think, was number one. And I was invited to the was it breakfast or drive?
Breakfast, yeah.
It was breakfast, yeah.
Breakfast,
I was invited for drive, and I remember her saying, "Hey, let me tell you, the only reason you have this interview," she told me, "is because of your wife." And I'm like, yeah, thank you. like Wendy just was calling and whatever, and so a lot of this, the marketing effort was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And interestingly, just to note, one of the things that just Wendy, as a marketing genius, in my opinion, did was, so I had to break my brand, because my brand had always been, anytime media mentioned me in a newspaper article or on radio or whatever, it was Kanjii of the group Milele, right? But now I'm a solo artist, right? So and it was just seeding interviews and interviews and interviews and interviews. And for a small period, that song I did with Tim on that's seasoned album, whatever. For small, that song was so powerful.
With Victor Say.
With Victor Say.
That song.
Yeah. What is it called? Tidings of Comfort. God rest ye merry gentlemen.
Yes.
That for a season it branded me as a neo soul artist, which anyone who knows me knows I hate neo soul. So I'm like, I did not want to be branded as a neo soul artist. I felt it was too niche. I didn't like it. So Mwendi very systematically, through the right interviews. I remember Boniface Mwangi doing a full nice spread on Nation with photos and whatnot, and now I was just
Boni.
Yeah, Boniface Mwangi. Yeah, when he was at Nation, and now I'm Kanjii, the artist, right? And all of that was kind of now combining to get us to this moment for this album launch. And I remember at the same time, the biggest artist in the country, Jua Kali, I'm talking about Jua Kali. I'm not too sure there's been an artist who has had that kind of rabid, almost cult-like following.
Yeah, I was going to say
I don't think there's anyone. I don't think anyone has. Like, guys have had fans and crazy fans. I remember just Jua Kali, all he needed to say was Watu, and then I'm like, it was crazy, man. So we ended up having the gig on the same day
with Jua Kali.
With Jua Kali, and his album launch was in KICC. And this is just a small note where, so I always held, like, I never looked at the calendar to see what was happening, to determine what day I should do my event, right? So I never consulted at
the industry.
No.
Yes.
I didn't. And the reason is, I always felt that the industry needs to become big enough to accommodate all of us, right? And it's actually good for us guys to have events on the same day, because whatever you look at it, there'll be an expansion, not a contraction, right? So Jua Kali was doing his gig on the same day. It did not bother me at all. I was just like, okay, let's go head to head, bro. He's not thinking about me because I'm nobody, but I'm thinking about him because But yeah, but that was cool, man. Got to the gig. I remember doing this huge Facebook post, just telling people, man, what I dream for the music business and the music industry in Kenya, and I was like, man, I'm praying and I'm trusting that 5,000 people will buy tickets and show up for this gig. And
Kanjii, there had not been a gig like that before.
Not for a solo artist launching a Kenyan solo artist launching an album. Nah, non-sponsored. It's not, you're not part of a festival. This is just your gig. And that gig, I specifically lined it up. There were no curtain raisers, none. It was literally, and my whole thing was, I just wanted it to be. I wanted to be able, and I think it was something I heard about. Wait, were there curtain raisers? No, there were none. I don't think there were any curtain raisers. But anyway, this was like the UB40 gig in Eugene, and I remember Steve Jean telling me about it, and he said how on their technical rider, they had a 1 hour gap between them and
the main show.
The curtain raisers and them.
Yes.
1 hour gap.
Just.
And it was almost like cleanse the palate for guys, man. So that now you can do your thing. So I remember that being an interesting thought. So I was like, man, when I do my gig, I'll so my in fact, we did not have any curtain raisers. Any artists
was in the
I
gig.
Incorporated them into the show.
Yep.
Right? Into the show. And marketed it everywhere, at Mavuno, at churches, at online, wherever we could. And the D-Day came, and man, what a cool memory, man. What a cool memory. Walking onto that stage at Simba Saloon, seeing a sea of people.
Yep.
And we had a wonderful experience lined up for them. Kaima flew in from the States
for that thing,
for that gig, to play at the gig. And that was that that to this day will always be something like very courageous I did,
that was an epic gig.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was such a gig. It was such a gig, and the footage is there, man. I need to talk to Bob Nyanja, man.
Yeah, you need to get that footage from Bob Nyanja. Yeah. But thank God we've got Moab's photos.
Yeah.
Moab's.
Thank you, my guy. Thank
Moab's
you, my guy.
photos have been good.
Yeah, so that was risky.
I mean, even live recording it then was insane.
It was crazy.
And you did that. You had all cranes and dollies.
We multi-tracked it, and we had a multi-camera production. It was the whole thing. So people, what they were seeing on the screens, and now remember we have festival experience, so we kind of know how to do these big gigs, So
can you remember the birth of creative marketing?
Yes. It was called. We were calling it.
Till today, I use that thing.
Yeah. Oh man, yeah. The whole idea of product placement in a gig, and instead of you just putting a banner, the idea was to work your brand into the gig. Yeah. And so that's something that we sold people for corporate sponsorships. And we had a couple of corporate sponsors. I can't remember.
There was an insurance company.
There was. Yeah.
And the guys who also would come for Live at the Village, who ended up, is it selling flour or something?
Oh yeah, Incas.
Oh, that's Incas.
Yeah, Incas. You're right. Yeah, so there are some people who came through with corporate sponsorships, and they weren't big, but yeah, that was a pretty cool experience, and everyone had such a great time. Featured my boy Pinye. Had different artists show up. Hip hop, you guys featured.
Yeah,
was
me
it Giuliani?
It
was you and Giuliani.
Yeah.
And Silayo and all manner of people. Yeah, that was that album launch. I think it was. I feel like it was a courageous thing. It was like very daring. I think we learned a lot. We grew a lot. Through that experience. Yeah, man. It was just, and I think it was also helping set us up for all the stuff we were gonna do next as a company.
Yeah.
So that gig literally was like a leveling up moment for all of us. Like, okay, cool, we can play at this level. Organizing and putting together a parking lot to parking lot experience and all of that. Yeah, so that was cool, man. That
Did you
was
feel like it was a rebirth of Kanjii or a statement of I'm here?
yeah, I think it was more of a statement rather than a rebirth, but it was an emphatic statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. Yeah, and it's so cool now looking and seeing, we didn't get we didn't get 5,000 people, which was my hope, but we had about 2,000 people at that gig, which was still unprecedented.
Yep. That was, yeah.
But it's so cool now looking, decade and something later, and now seeing all the stuff that that we get to see, and artists do the things that they're doing, and realizing, yeah, man, in a small way or other, we had, we kind of got this ball rolling in one way or another, or a part of the ball rolling,
Yeah. Wow. Just because you touched on that thing, I remember talking to you on 31st. You were calling different guys. You were calling DJ Mose. You called DJ Kev. And you called me. And you were saying both gigs are completely packed. Can you remember?
Oh, no, I don't remember.
It was a 31st. And
December 31st,
yes,
yeah.
and it's to go with that point that you're saying.
Yeah.
Because we're always used to only one gig happening.
Yes.
TSO.
Yes.
And this was the first. No, Kev had done his gig again. So we all used to have TSO happen.
Yeah.
And then now Kev did a gig in town while we were at I think Parklands.
Yes.
Then now the next year,
Yes.
now he had KICC.
Yes.
But Mose, I think, had Chapel, and they were packed
Yeah.
to the brim.
Yeah.
So it just goes to say that point of yours that there's enough. Even right now, 50 gigs can happen on 31st.
Oh, completely. They can. And anytime. Like, I think the thing is, now the game, I think, and these are just my thoughts. Like, it's about building your core, building your audience, and serving that audience. And not worrying too much about the noise. Like, you keep your head down, focus on your audience, and grow that, keep on growing that. And yeah, I remember my first time, I think maybe one of the first times I had someone call and be like, hey, we have a gig on that day. On the day maybe I'm advertising for an event. And I got confused. I was like, so what? Like, yeah, like.
Or they'll call you to just tell you.
Yeah, like, hey man, Bana, why are you putting a gig on the day we have I'm like, boss, there are only 365 days in the year. like we're gonna run out of days. I'm like, so you put your gig on the day you feel is the best day for you, and
I'll do the same for me.
Yeah, and market it as best as you can,
Wow.
Yeah. So but now it's not a thing.
Yeah.
But at that point the industry was small. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, okay. So let's continue with this story of yours. So that's Stories.
Yeah.
Stories album launch, and it's the stamping of Kanjii.
Yes.
Where does your journey after this go musically, or what happens next in the story?
Yeah. So so I think at this point now, I've unlocked now, I guess, a level where now I'm being invited for corporate events. Right.
Now as Kanjii the musician to come and play.
Exactly. Kanjii and the Villagers, and so we're doing that corporate gig circuit. Staff party, whatever, and
Wow.
so that's kind of like happening musically. Kijiji, I think now we're starting to realize that, hey, if we want to keep doing what we love, we've got to figure out a way of funding it, and we have to find where the money is, because the money is not in us guys just putting up our own events. So at this point, Kijiji moves from South Sea, and we move to Navigators in.
If it's if it's navigators you've moved
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
then I want to bring you back a bit.
Okay.
Because in this era,
Yeah.
there is some certain music you start doing at South Sea.
Yeah.
For example, Najaribu kupiga simu.
Oh, yes, yes.
And that is in an essence a corporate gig.
Yes. It is.
Kanjii featuring Kala Mashaka.
Okay, so and that gig, let me tell you, there's a really good story for that gig, which is don't despise any moment.